slow it down. The ringing in your ears has gotten too loud. Take a deep breath, try to slow things down. Wish it away, but it's too late now. I am the storm. You can't see me, but I'm always around. I'll get in your mind without making a sound. Run all you want, but I'll track you down. Oh, ready to strike, and I see you now. I am the storm.
An update is required.
Financial system updating.
System updated.
We will dance together.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
The greatest players in the world are here.
They can just burn this one down. Oh my god, forward by 9!
You are going to see them like you've never seen them before.
Rocked at will as the Arcane Storm doing so much work, and Genji! They are just going to ace them!
누구 만나도 이길 수 있다는 자신감 정도로만 생각하고 있습니다.
Genji, the EWC winners!
Alright guys, I just landed in China. Let's go.
Play the local way, pay your way.
Have you ever seen the Great Wall at night?
Play the local way, pay your way.
Drake is now Doran, decent position, double
Break down my walls, but I won't rise again. Cause I stand tall in my environment. How could I ever close my eyes and stay silent since they try to take me down with their violence?
Oh, they go back in! Bishop flashes in, and down goes Knight!
So slow.
I told you I was done with basic browsers.
Your setup wants Opera GX, and you're holding it back. Upgrade to the gaming browser. Download Opera GX.
Every moment of your journey, crystal clear. Landscapes, absolutely stunning. Close-ups, sharp and full of vibe. Group shots, packed with detail. Zoom in on one face, still flawless. Colors so real, every scene, every smile, unforgettable. Oppo Find X9 series, Hasselblad telephoto.
Oh, now
zoom
it is.
into
There we
detail.
go. My shit ain't been working for how long?
Red Bull gives you wings.
I would say a pie too, but I don't really need a pie. We definitely need 2 burgers.
I got this old thing and the bill from the store where I got it. Figured you could beat it with a better deal on one of these big boys.
Man, it doesn't work that way.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal.
You don't know that?
You don't know that?
The loyal, the unwavering, the faithful shall be rewarded!
It's at Worlds where legends will fall.
This series has taken a turn! And he still lives on! The stage is set, the curtain is drawn. Through all the doubt! Through all the disbelief! They earn their place! Winning is not a matter of chance. It's a choice!
I'm geeked. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch Fly lose. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. I'm nervous for them. I'm nervous for them. This is not gonna... The double Gallios, bro. That shit was so fucking cinema.
These guys came to fight! What's a god to 5 non-believers? Are you ready? What?
Oh, why am I on YouTube? God, I hope CFO wins. Please let CFO win. Please, please, please. CFO, please. You guys have to deploy. Like, bro, please. CFO, please. Please, CFO. CFO, please. CFO. CFO and Fly, boys, come on. Let's go, CFO. Let's go, Fly. Please, 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 please. If Fly beats G2, boy, I'll eat my left shoe. I'll eat my left shoe. I'll sell the truck. I'll sell the house. If Fly beats G2, I'll eat him. I'll eat the dog. Not really. But please. What? What? Are you done? I didn't do it. Stop. Stop. Right? Stop. I'm not gonna hit you with it. Damn. Strength. Come here, my boy. CFO win easy? I hope. I hope. The hopium is real. Don't even show me Faker no more. T1 is out. I have never not seen T1 make it to finals. So if T1 doesn't make it to finals here, that's going to be a real... Like, that's going to open up a lot of opportunity for other teams to make it. Like if these larger teams get knocked out, that's going to leave it open for a EU NA win.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Worlds 2025. We're broadcasting live from the JJJ Sports Arena Center.
What the fuck?
In Beijing, China, we saw the wall we went to visit yesterday.
What the fuck?
We're gearing up for round 2 of the Swiss stage, and the question will be for Adrian.
What the fuck?
Oh my God. If they can crawl those stairs to that higher plane that they've been gunning for the entire year, and if they can
the protection.
I'm shocked, and I'm really happy to be here at the desk with Kobe and with Dagda as we look ahead to this wonderful day with honestly 2 spectacular matchups.
Super excited for it. You talked them up. The Flying Oyster, this underdog story. How high can they fly?
Yeah, it feels like they're taking those steps 2 at a time at points. They have looked fantastic, but now it's against HLE, it's all up in the air.
Who knows? Talking about steps, Kobe, you have a little souvenir?
We went to the Great Wall. I got the panda hat. You got one as well.
I got one as well. Well, it's going to mess up my hair.
Okay. I don't care about my hair.
Okay. All right, well, we'll fix it under this next video because, of course, to celebrate the 15-year anniversary of Worlds, which is absolutely amazing, right? It's mostly a bracket of memorable plays from Worlds history, which we're always happy to look at. So let's check out the next round. It's Uzi's Vayne Flank from 2013 versus Gumayushi's Blind Baron Steel from 2022.
It would then allow him to clean up fights as
2013?
For the fights, they have the man advantage.
Oh, lovely. Nicely going very deep. Cool going to go over towards Sammy. There's a Stan United being used very early. Uzi is coming in from the backside. Surprise! Here comes the Vayne. Kill for White. Sam's not going to escape this one. They focus down Uzi. But look at him. He's still alive.
Oh my God.
He stays alive. Ace.
The game open. That's going to be DRX on Baron. They take down 4 of T1. The flank from
Yoshik on the top side and then teleport in from Zeka.
None of them are playing Vayne.
Herding them in. T1 didn't find a response. Guma, can he steal it? Guma will have to fire a
And we never heard from Pedro again.
Bad boy, Mark, bad boy.
Bad boy. But hey, it gave me goosebumps, dog, that seeing that Uzi moment from 2013. I think there's a lot of newer viewers who might not know these plays, right? But he was a menace.
He was incredible, and 2013 was actually the first Worlds I ever watched as a fan. And I remember watching that play thinking, oh my god, I want to do this. And then I remembered I don't have hands and became a support main instead.
Hey, I'm a support main, man. So, of course, keep your eye on this bracket. It was the Vayne flank that made it in this one, and we'll see, of course, the other iconic plays that are going to fill this bracket out.
Double
Is it an
Gallios.
early favorite from the ones that have already gone through?
I mean, I just want to say that Guma
Double.
stealing objectives on Varus is like easy mode.
Yeah.
At this tournament, he's also stolen them on Xayah and even Yunara of all things.
I saw
So
the double Galio
Game
ult.
sense, or what is that? That he's the
Live.
only one who can do it, so.
that's just Guma thing.
What was it, like 2 years ago now?
He is him, exactly.
That I was the only one watching in the room, and I jumped up from my chair and I was just like, bro,
At our Swiss stage bracket as we head
double
into
fucking
the final
Gallios
of Swiss. How do we feel overall?
at the same time.
Hell, is KT the team that
It was double Gallios at the same time.
Like, out of all the teams here from the LCK, the fact that it's KT that goes 3-0
It didn't even, like,
is just mind-boggling to me.
Actually, so funny. And it is
Silas takes Galio ult.
What's really crazy too, though, is
It's not crazy to say Galio ult, and then a few moments later, another Galio ult comes in. That's not too crazy to say. What's crazy to say is the fact that they both did it at the same time. They were. It was literally double Gallios.
Oh, you beat BLG,
Oh,
congratulations.
the cinema. I don't even remember how that game ended, or who it even was, or how it, or anything. I just remember the double Gallios, and that is by far, like, man, that was such a cool fucking fight.
So it got early picks previously.
Oh, Fnatic, are they still in?
On the last day. No. Razork, okay. Razork and Karsa both had really good Jarvan games on our last day that we just saw of Swiss stage. Unfortunately for them, they only won the Jarvan games and both teams got eliminated afterwards. But they showed, how you should use Jarvan. Early priority on ganks. They were able to snowball, and critically, Dagda, they picked them into immobile carries that couldn't just get out of Cataclysm, and so they had a lot of good combinations.
Yeah, I think if you mess it up, it's so easy to go wrong with like supports having access to heal and exhaust, and you've also got redemption. It's very difficult to finish someone off in the back line. So if you mess it up, J4 is not having a good time.
Yeah.
It's a comp issue, not a Jarvan the 4th issue.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, too, if you early pick Jarvan,
OP.
then you are picking your jungler, so you can't, like, throw in a
He's not
Trundle
looking
if they
good
pick
on this
Sion.
stage, but
And Sion
Jarvan
has
OP.
been, like, a super good pick, so you really need to have counters to Sion, so.
I don't want to see CFO or Fly. I don't want to see either one of them pick Jarvan. If that's a Jarvan, bro, just don't pick Jarvan, please.
Also, when the draw happened, a lot of people weren't shy about popping off about that result. Let's take a look.
I saw him practicing it. We want West to make quarterfinals. A fly needs to be drawn right now. Oh no! We got one team in! We got one team in! It's the best
Let's go! We're so happy.
I cannot wait for this.
Oh, Timo!
You killed Timo!
Yes, kill Timo too! Honestly, though,
And if Fly beats G2, oh my
some of the LPL
god.
and LCK teams, we would be excited as well.
Really?
Yeah, because we want to see them get through that way. But
Oh my god, if Fly beats G2 tonight,
Oh. Also, it's for, I think, one of the first times where it's like
I
Seed 1
just-
versus Seed 1.
I
I
can't
think it
even-
was NRG versus G2 when that last happened specifically.
I'll go to bed so
This should be
fucking
the best
happy,
versions
bro.
of both teams in that
I'll go to bed
regard.
so fucking happy if Fly beats G2.
I think it's going to come down to the jungle and the support, honestly. And like even talk about the different seeds, like when we saw these two teams face off against at MSI, it was G2 coming in as the second seed, whereas the first seed for NA. So I think across the board, I just cannot wait to see how this one's going to face off.
My read is
Survival instincts of something that survived
They
extinction.
are very, very good, specifically in these matchups. We saw it at MSI. But for me, it's going to be, did G2 actually get better? We watched a BLG game, but people want to say, well, BLG's playing really badly. You still have to drive it home. We saw them in Madrid as well. So is that going to be what makes a difference?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I am a little bit worried here because G2...
He's worried!
They look significantly better than they did at MSI. For sure, this G2 is definitely a better team than that team that FlyQuest 3-0'd at MSI. And they're already showing that creativity and champ select that everybody knows and loves about G2.
Little bottle.
You know, throwing down the Anivia, you know, already showing the LeBlanc type of stuff. So
and that's when we're our most dangerous. When G2 look comfortable in the draft, that's where they're worried.
Is it? Would you say your hubris is not as strong as some of the other NA representatives, or?
No. You got to keep it kind of low key until we get the edge. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like everyone popping off a little early. It's okay.
You gotta be careful.
We've got it under control.
You gotta be careful. But it's a great match to look forward to, of course, as well as our first one. It will be CFO taking on HLE. And Laura, she did catch up with Chawi in our Verizon Game Day interview.
Chawi, thank you so much for joining me ahead of today's series. Big day, heading into quarterfinals. Tell me about CFO. Looking at the whole year you had, what is the biggest
Asian
improvement for the team?
I feel like we learn how to play the map a lot better. Because in the past, our region, we usually just lose laning phase, lose everything. And so because we did pretty well in first 10, so we get to scrim against the top teams from LCK and LPL. So we learned a lot from all those scrims.
Now, looking at today's matchup, you got another LCK team to beat, but you beat the world champion. So I'm thinking I'm not too much worried about you. What is your read on Hanwha Life Esports right now as a team?
I feel like Hanwha Life Esports has really high mechanically skilled players like Zeus. So it's really hard for us to win them. We have to come up with a lot of good strategies and through ban picks and how we play the map.
I got cheese, so right away he wants some. He gonna get some too.
Any specific player that you should be careful about?
I feel like it's gonna be the top end.
What?
And it's a game.
It's a mystery.
Top and but
I think top and AD carry probably.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be Viper down there.
That makes a lot of sense. When it comes to kind of Chawi talking about the year, I think that
What
for
the
me,
fuck?
CFO has been such a great team to watch because I think in comparison to maybe even some of the teams from my own region, right? They went to all these international tournaments and they learned something every single time, applied it, and got better. And I think that is so inspirational to see for players coming out of that region.
Yeah, and it's also difficult to do when they only dropped a single series over the course of the whole year, right the way back at the start. But it does say a lot about the coaching staff and the players themselves that we have seen them grow over the course of the last 2 or 3 years. And I think a huge portion of that is kind of like the players moving to regions like the LPL, maybe not having the best of times there, but bringing those learnings back. And that's why I'd like to focus on people like Junja and Doggo, because Junja ended up playing on EDG with Viper when they end up winning Worlds, was actually subbed out for JJ, couldn't find the success there. And it's a similar story when you look across at Doggo, picked up after a fantastic series at Worlds and moved across to BLG, right as Zeka ended up leaving from BLG, but these players couldn't find the same success that these LCK superstars did, moved back to the LCP and grew their region brick by brick, and now find themselves competing with the best in the world.
And they're looking like they 100% deserve to be there. Doggo has actually been insane.
Crazy.
The Draven pick where he's just laning top, gets solo kills in this game. The Caitlyn game as well, amazing from him. And so that's going to be a super exciting matchup versus Viper down there. And Junja, you said it, you know, he has been running that region for a while. Really, really impressive stuff. CFO, they've gained so many fans because they have been consistent in coming to all the international events, you know, so far this year.
Doggo has been a player to watch, but for HLE Viper, Doggo is always a player to watch.
This man is insane. Like, he is incredible. No matter what pick you seem to put him onto, he will always perform. Even in their losses on things like the this is absolutely insane. It feels like at times he can do no wrong, and it has to be shutting down him. Even if we can get to hear in the Chawi interview,
He has to play well, and then he also has to tell Zeka to build a tier.
They're not going to make that mistake again. Come on. Maybe. Well, when it comes to this matchup, there are, I think, some things where CFO could find an edge, although Choi was very careful. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the draft adaptations and the Scion particularly, because we've seen it be so instrumental for CFO, and teams just don't want to ban it for some reason.
I mean, it's an incredibly strong pick across the entire board for every team, but in particular for these squads, we traditionally would have seen, like, one of the two top laners for CFO pick it up, but the fact that both of them are performing means that they are a two-time devastating top side of the map. Exactly, but I think
Yeah, he needs to get banned out. Scion needs to get straight up banned. Straight up just ban that man. Ban that man.
When you're able to play away from a Scion, it can open them up for these early leads.
Oh, we're hooking our shit up.
Yeah, and it's going to be big on the side of HLE too. Zeus set a record, world record, for most kills on a Scion at an international event. And so it's dangerous on both sides. I feel like it's going to be definitely a high priority early on in the series. This champion has been kind of the talk of the town now with the meta.
Yeah, it will be. I'd love to, of course, big up the underdog a little bit more. I just think underdog stories are the best, and they could really pull off a Cinderella story here if they do this.
We're all using wireless mouse?
One thing that you're very
what the fuck?
In that they should be able to translate into winning moments.
Plink, 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 plink.
Hands down, it has been spectacular to watch. It's the understanding of how to set up objectives, how they want to try and play around this front-to-back style. And even in their last series against AL, they refused to give up. It was fight after fight. They are trying to catch you at every step of the way. CFO are a team that will not give up easily. And when it comes to that team fighting, they're able to transition those early leads into huge wins off of like this play from Junjun. Like this sticks out of my mind so much. Just this flash over the wall was so sick to watch.
In this game and in this match, of course, it can qualify you directly to that next round, which is absolutely huge for the likes of CFO, but also for HLE. Peanut wants to make that last dance count. He wants to make it work, but it isn't always that easy.
It definitely is not. I mean, CFO are for sure the underdogs going versus HLE. The individual talent on this HLE team is insane. Charlie was just about to start talking more about Zeus and how many problems Zeus is going to actually cause for the CFO team. And Peanut being in his last dance, it would just be so poetic if they're able to make a really, really strong run here at Worlds this year.
It would be. I think a lot of people would like to see the underdog win for CFO and those players that have worked so hard the entire season to all culminate at Worlds, which is what you do it for. But on the other side, HLE, it would be almost embarrassing if they don't make it to the knockouts. And Peanut, he wants to get it done, that miracle run. Can he do it? And who will we see take a step into those?
Jesus Christ. She aged like a fucking box of potatoes.
Ever since I've gotten into Worlds,
completely unrelated to what it was. I'm not talking about shocks. I'm not. I promise.
Whatever it takes. If I can bring Europe back on top.
Diabolical.
2018 Fnatic, 2019 G2, all those rosters kind of gave me a lot of hope. I got so much hope seeing that the best of the West could compete with the best of the East.
I think Europe has downgraded a little bit over the years, and I think this year we have to redeem ourselves.
Flagwife will steamroll G2 as the latest chapter of the rivalry is written as an epitaph for you.
I think we are best team in the West, so we're gonna win. Believe in
No,
us
shut the
or
fuck
don't,
up.
we'll win anyway.
Shut the fuck up.
You're going up against a different kind of G2. One that won't go down easy.
NA is gonna stomp, boy. NA is gonna stomp. I mean. Oh, it's such a hard. Like, do I want what's best for the West or do I want what's best for me? I wish they were the same.
지금 연승을 통해서 기세도 굉장히 좋기 때문에 2승 1패 팀 다른 팀을 만나도 저희가 훨씬 강하다고 생각합니다.
我觉得我们 CFO 最强的地方就是我们每个人都有自己个人的特色，然后这些特色如果加在一起的话，我们就会有一些特别的奇效跟加成。
What do you see? So you wanna go fish? Go fish crackers!
하나생명 e스포츠보다는 AL이나 아니면 젠지 같은 팀이 그래도 더 강하지 않나라고 생각을 할 것 같아요. 하지만 그 생각이 틀렸다는 걸 완전히 보여줄 겁니다.
最重要的意义就是让大家看到
I
也能够进8强。我们会证明我们赛区的实力。
I hope you're ready for us. 그래도 꼭 마지막까지 서 있는 팀이 되도록 하겠습니다.
What is that? Oh. Fuck up. That's all I got, no more. No more. No more snacks.
The best thing about today is that we could still
Wait for
have
Burger
both
King.
of these teams in the knockout stage. First,
Sugar
we
bean.
will introduce Team Flying Oysters.
It's a pleasure to have them here on the stage and at this World Championship, as throughout this year they have continued to leave their mark at this competition and at every competition that Riot has hosted. They're a name that you just can't ignore with their impressive performances and how they've challenged the best in the world.
Their ability as well to pull off 6-man teams, to me, is one of the most impressive things.
Yeah, it's so incredibly cool. And on the other side, Hanwha Life Esports.
And this team really had a breakout performance in the LCK playoffs after the expectations were somewhat muted because they were really
raining out, really?
middle. And I think thus far in the tournament, we've both seen why they're regarded highly, but also simultaneously some of the weaknesses that were the reason why they weren't able to win the final and what plagued them throughout the regular split as well.
Yep, and so I'm Atlas. I'm joined by Chronicler and Vedius today to go through this first best of 3, to see which one of these 2-1 teams is going to be making it to the knockout stage and which one of them has another best of 3 to play. That's the best part, is because I expect this to be an incredible best of 3 series between these two squads. One of the youngest players here at this tournament in Hongqiu, who has just looked so fun to watch.
It's going to be a wash. CFO is going to 3-0.
And for the occasion, I also watched back the series that these two teams played at the beginning of the year at First Stand. And I think things are looking very different going into this matchup. The matchup that back then we saw Zeka really overperform on both Yone and Zed. We haven't seen that form of him, even on his champions, whereas Hongqiu has been amazing this tournament.
The thing that I just love about CFO is it feels like that they play with the nameplates off. The level of confidence that they bring to every single game, the way in which they just stick to their game plan and they execute upon it well, it's nothing but a joy to see. My question to you two is, do you feel like that this is the HLE that we saw in playoffs at the start of the year, the HLE that's at full power, or do you think
does that even mean?
for growth when it comes to this HLE?
Yes, there is. This is a team that is not necessarily
Very good answer,
at the
Alphas.
full force that we saw in First Stand especially, right? That was the tournament that, as you mentioned, Chronicler, was where they managed to get that 2-0. That was a lot to do with certain players that have since deteriorated a little bit in the quality of their play. So we'll see whether they can turn it around, because that is the most annoying part about Hanwha Life Esports. You know that they have it in them. Zeka could just today be a god again. He might just decide, oh, I want this trophy as well, and they could really just leapfrog themselves into the knockouts from here.
And that has happened before for Hanwha, but Zeka is obviously the big talking point. I think Delight still has his highs, but he has a lot more ups and downs than he used to have previously, where I think he was a large part of the reason why they were so dominant at the start of the year, and has obviously have been playing very well, as there is that Cyan man that I think we're all waiting for.
There's Cyan man, good boy.
Champion select here for game number 1. Already some bands coming through thick and fast. A certain Golden Pigeon is still standing out though.
So the thing that's interesting about CFO, the 3 wins that they've had so far at this tournament, all of them have been with Sion. HLE, the first team to sit there and go, you know what, we're not going to ban it away. Especially away from Driver, the man who is named after the Sion pick himself. Of course, we know that Driver has become a lot more diverse in his pool throughout the summer split, so let's see what he's prepared for Zeus in the top lane.
And here at Worlds, he's going to have to be a lot more diverse in his champion
What are
pool.
you
In
doing?
fact, adding double the amount of champions here today, which is going to be a large statistical feat.
It's also something that I was really wondering coming into the series for Hanwha is that they were, in my opinion, the most well-prepped team, and they had the most targeted plans out of anyone. And I think that CFO kind of echoed that. The way they dispatched of T1, I think, was really a super good approach at specifically what made T1 strong in the early game, which was Owner, the very early invade. And we see Humble Life also taking lessons with that Kiana banned away from Junja.
Well, Aurora, Azir, both very powerful mid laners open, with the Rise open too. But we do know that CFO do have a tendency to lean more towards this Aurora, especially with some of the performances we've seen from Hongq. Yunara, another big one. I feel like if CFO don't prioritize it, this is something that Viper will happily take off the board.
Yeah, and one thing that we haven't really spoken about, which is a little bit more of an overarching thing, is the fact that we had 2 days off. And so developments could actually exist here in this draft. Not so far though, because the Orianna has been first pick priority for quite some time. I imagine that the Yunara Azir is looking like a pretty comfy lock.
Also wonder whether that ups the Jarvan prio. I do know that we've been talking a lot about Jarvan, his strength as a pick. I do think the combo with Orianna specifically does really hold up to scrutiny. This pick for Viper would be no surprise, and Zeka does have the opportunity to go towards the Aurora. Orianna, to me, is kind of where we've seen Azir a lot in the past, where she feels like her laning phase is super oppressive, she skills really well into the game, she really kind of does everything. Might be prio for Peanut early on the Xin Zhao. Trundle is still open, but Xin Zhao we've seen do really well into Jarvan specifically.
Absolutely. The question is, what do you want to pair alongside this Orianna? Because as you're highlighting, the Xin Zhao kind of preemptively
Come on now.
dissuade something like a Jarvan, but they might not
J4.
care about it. They immediately switch on over to the Azir, something that Zeka, we've seen a fair amount of from him.
Like the Orianna? Yes. Love Orianna.
Already you're looking at a very stable and secure front-to-back style of competition.
And we've really gone back and forth on Zeka, where at first Azir was one of the champions that obviously was added to the melee pool very early on, and then there was a large period where he could kind of play everything, and then this year we've really seen him struggles even on pick that he's been historically great on. I do think Azir is one of those champions that you just need to be able to play within the LCK, really anywhere, but in the LCK in particular.
Xin Zhao?
A couple of really big enjoyers of this champion, so not playing it isn't an option. Would mean that the Xin Zhao is going to go over to Junja here. That is still a great combo with the Orianna. I don't think it's as like team fight heavy as a Jarvan would, because you'll still have the ability to go in with the R and then follow up from there, but still very strong amount of early skirmishing here, already locked in for CFO.
Pick your support. Now you're going to pick your top laner.
It looks like it's going to be very high priority.
Kisante, yeah. Good one.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're going to do. So now you have the choice of, do you lock in your jungle here for HLE to make sure that you have a solid matchup? Because as you mentioned, that there are still a good number of junglers left that you can play into the Xin Zhao. Alternatively, you can get that top lane counter. But we know that Zeus is someone that has a very deep pool, is probably very flexible with what he's played into the Kisante. So I expect the jungle to come through, given that Zeus has so much flexibility in his options.
I'm looking at Poppy. Jarvan is, again, I think a pick that has been very talked about.
CFO win.
Does still have a decent amount of power.
CFO win.
But I don't love it into what CFO already have, and they do still have the ability to pick an AD carry that isn't bothered. That for me is always one of the big tests. If you're playing something like Sivir, that will be something where you do really struggle playing into
CFO
that.
win.
And instead, I think the Poppy might still end up as a ban, because I do think that CFO really don't want to play into that.
CFO win.
It's going to be taken away first as we hop into our second round of bans. We'll see where CFO's focus is going to be. We're looking at top lane, we're looking at support, and I think there is a certain shape-shifting support champion.
CFO win.
You're a huge fan of, and think it's
Nah, HLE don't win. CFO win. You know how I know? Clairvoyant.
No, I think Nico's. This is the amount of engages I've seen.
The current iteration.
There you go.
Power level at this point in time.
Sounds like he hates Nico.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Is this how it's already ganging up on me?
I'm just trying to understand. Alice is just your translator. You know what I mean?
You just need to find that. We just need to help him.
And there is the Nico band coming through from Humble Life as we try to move on from the conversation. Well, I think it makes sense that they don't want to play.
Look at this.
Trying to
Drop my phone.
best to continue on in this draft. Poppy to me could obviously go top. We saw Broken Blade pilot that with great efficiency, and Zaze is also one that loves his more creative counter picks. But Humble Life could also just say like we slam Rumble and just leave it at that, and that's not the best matchup into the
3 minutes away.
Into Rumble, but with Jarvan and with Azir, it does make sense as the Brawl ban comes through.
They think Kai'Sa.
Yeah, that sounds.
I'm just thinking about I mean, I think it is a no. I mean, like the safest would be something like Lucian or Ezreal, and it It is Doggo, so I feel like that he's more than happy to play both of those champs.
It's going to be the Rumble locked in though for Zeus. No real surprises there, but not necessarily something we say checkmate as far as the top lane is concerned. Doggo's Draven was pretty good the last time we saw it.
Against a Jarvan, that would surprise me.
Oh, Draven. I don't have enough boost for this. I don't have enough liquor.
I would say.
Are we going to see the lane swap come in again though?
That's true, yeah.
Because he's already
Jarvan is 2-9, but the teams that won with it are eliminated. Bro, see, that's exactly what I was saying. If you pick Jarvan, you're basically selling yourself short. You're basically saying, I'm going to lose. J4 is a joke. J4 is not a joke. He's a good champ, but like in this current meta, like with the teams that these people are picking, like Yumi easy. No.
Yeah, this is what we come to expect from Kaiwing. Definitely one of his special picks. And he had a great
Nammy.
already in this tournament.
Nammy. Nami mommy.
Disengage ultimate to help the threat of the Jarvan looking to engage on your back. And it's
I don't know. I don't see HLE getting this. This is such a fucking fucky-wucky team that they got going here. This is a fucky-wucky team.
This was back in like 2022 when Bro wasn't really that much of a threat. Of his Rakan specifically, looking at the composition for Hanwha, I think it's very cohesive. Obviously plays very well, very far forward. I do think they can struggle with the lack of front line if they end up getting into like these kind of classic front to backs. And the early skirmishing has been the biggest.
This is a fucky-wucky team. I don't.
think that Zaka's laning phase in particular will have to be good here to buy Peanut the space to go for these early plays.
Yeah, I mean, what I think is interesting is HLE have a lot of damage threats, but their engage is very quick. Jarvan and Rakan a very fast ability to dive onto the backline, and Rubble can immediately follow that up with his ulti, with both Viper and Zeka kind of doing what they can, hitting whatever target.
Well, that's the whole.
Whereas I feel for CFO, while I think it's a little bit easier for them to gain space, because what's he afraid of? You know, when that dragon is being started by HLE, he can walk
What
up,
size
he
is
can
this?
apply some space to them, he's got that Orianna, he's got that Nami behind him, but their engage is not the easiest to pull off. You've got a Xin Zhao.
Half a 175.
Asante doesn't have the easiest way to start off the fight, and I think that as long as HLE play with their range,
If I knew this shit was only 35, I would never scoop.
leverage the poke, and I think in the 5v5, I do give the edge to HLE.
Yeah, it's feeling very committal on the side of CFO, but that is exactly what CFO do. They hard commit to fights all game long, and we're going to see whether they'll do it again here in game number 1 as we get onto the Rift for this best of 3. Don't worry, guys, we are just going to be promoting a team to our top 8 rather than saying goodbye to anyone in this best of 3. Still a chance for either of these teams if they don't make it through this one, but then it's do or die as the Gyos do come through.
Those power rankings that we just saw at the top. I know obviously these power rankings, the statistics that come in behind them is Ginger looks for a bit of early vision.
Yeah, see, that shit's insane.
You know, there's always a lot of conversation that happens around them, right? Like arguing, is HLE actually the second best in the world right now? Is CFO number 5? And like, you can debate for
Is
days.
KT the best team in the world right now?
Excellent question. That's why I love casting with you. What I love about it, and what I think it really demonstrates, is the unbelievable amount of growth that we have been seeing from CFO throughout the year. The fact that they have consistently challenged these top teams, but unfortunately have always just fallen short of being able to beat them, just shows the level of which they've risen to, but also showcases the potential that exists in this roster. And to upset HLE today, I think would be monumental for them and the region.
Yep. Having a look here at the year of CFO, they have been just kicking goals all over the place. And the other side of the coin isn't the same story, right? And I actually love this as a barometer for how HLE is going to look and to measure the performance of CFO and how much they've improved. Already, you can see that this lane matchup, not exactly the most fun for Zek.
Well, we've also seen teams, I think, really stifled in their growth when you're so obviously the best team in a region. And that, I think, is so cool about CFO, is that that hasn't seemingly harmed them. There's obviously also the proximity, right? They're able to scrim against LPL or CK teams. But you need to get to the point where they see you as a scrim partner in the first place. So
That's not an easy thing.
That is not an easy thing. No hard thing actually to get going consistently.
There we go. Look at that.
We're also seeing this early
Told you I wanted to shake.
from CFO all across the map. Honku playing hyper-aggressive in the mid lane, making sure that the leverages of the early recovery on it. The bot lane 2 versus 2, the additional sustain that Kyle is bringing on the Na'Vi means that he can help the Azure get that early push. And on the top side of the map, Rumble doesn't have the same threat that he will later on into the game. So CFO playing with 3 pushing lanes now, and I'm very curious as to what Ginger will do with that pressure, because when it comes to star power, he really is kind of the shining star of his team, and he makes a lot of magic happen for CFO.
And Peanut has been one of the biggest early instigators in the entire LCK. The man loves to flash over walls early on, trying to
Look at that.
aggressive level 3
Little,
games. We're not gonna
little
see
bats.
that this time around. The both junglers have just
Little nuggies.
Peanut's gonna cross because obviously he wants to try and play away from the bot lane. But
We got the jalapeno bites. Ah. Forgot what those are. The big one. Mm-hmm. Deluxe Steakhouse. Whomper.
On a champion he's pretty comfortable on, guys. 11-2 his whole career on this champion, and that is a lot of games for someone so young.
No. Oh. Doggo. Okay. Boy. Look at that.
Coming into this series, I think that we're seeing Zeka still kind of struggle with the issues he had domestically, where he's just not able to really
Yeah.
progress to his highest level.
Yeah.
That might be an opportunity that CFO are going to be looking for. I am also looking at how these team fights are going to look. We've seen a lot of games where we decided like the first 2 skirmishes are Drakes, sometimes a Grubs contest, but usually that one is traded. But the Herald is where games are made or broken, and then, you know, it always gets up to the I hope we got that today as well, because the last time these 2 teams played, even though the series wasn't that long,
That'll be a burger for when Abel gets home.
Certainly was. Jinx. Look at that synergy. Isn't that beautiful? I'm really looking forward to when you come to the LCK next year.
He needs the top. At the same time, because you jinxed it.
Oh, sorry, buddy. Do I need to say it like lots of times?
But it's okay.
I mean, I could do that.
He picked Rumble into the.
I mean, it's obviously Andy Day.
That's true. Only my mother calls me.
Oh.
Yeah, Zeka taking a bit of damage here, but I think he'll be all right. The
Why'd you
pressure on
vault?
Honku is just massive though, and you can see it is being demonstrated in that 10 CS gap. He's not going to move on over here. His control wards are going to meet in the banana brush. But this dragon will be going over to Junja without too much of a contest by HLE, just trying to get the information that they're looking for.
Yeah, and Humble Life already swapping away, not looking
Without too much of a contest. There's literally 0 contests. I ain't getting any sauces?
So instead of
Fuck. Fucking stupid.
Play,
you think they want to kill Honku?
Yeah, possibly.
Well, they're going to go for it here.
Oh my god. Honku. Come on, brother.
Going over to Zeka, and that is a great start for this Azir that was struggling.
HLE just sent all the boys to mid lane.
Yeah.
Delight was there, Zeka was there, Pino was there, and Zeus were all there.
Cheese stick?
Doggo trying to get a bit of chip damage down onto Zeus, but he's going to walk that one off. But it is first blood over to HLE, and they make it look easy.
Actually really like that play there from Humble Life. They know that there's no ultimate for Honku, but also I think normally when you get Drake for free, you would expect Humble Life to play towards the top side of the map. Maybe
He had flash? Oh my god, he did.
Grubs. Instead, they just really heavily overload mid. Honku not wanting to use his flash, and to be fair, I think even
Fine.
if he flashes, Zeka follows.
It's the best 2 out of 3, brother.
Now, from
Don't get
Zeus'
cocky.
perspective, there's the risk
Game
of a
1.
dive in this position. There was a stacked wave. He'd taken a decent amount of damage, but given that there was no presence of the jungler, they saw the timing of the blue buff. It actually pinged on the top side, saying, actually, I'm pretty confident that Junja's on the other side of the map right now, giving Zeus the safety and security to sit underneath his tower, but also giving that information over to Delight and Viper, who are holding onto this freeze on the top side of the map. it was a very stock standard early game where I felt CFO leveraged their pressure extremely well. But now that the SWATs have started to come through, Grubs are going to be spawning soon, you can see that CFO under a little bit of pressure right now. They can't really punish anywhere on the map. And with Grubs spawning in 25 seconds, it's HLE that's going to be in a much more favorable position to set up for that objective.
Yeah, despite the fact that it's only about a 600 gold lead, which is somewhat considerable at
What are we doing?
7.5 minutes, this is where HLE builds on the tempo vibes, right? They move around the map better.
It's time.
You're not aware of the tempo vibes?
I'm unaware of the
Have you done that
vibes.
your Atlas prep specifically?
I did not.
I mean, so tempo vibes are not actually something represented by
What the fuck is CFO doing right now?
You might think of tempo and like tempo. No,
it's
not that.
It's not actually like that. It's just a vibe of who's in the better position. And right
Doggo,
now,
what are you doing?
Not in a great position as Arcane Shift
Oh my God.
getting so many of these Mystic shots down.
What are you doing?
Trying to kite it out, has that Q activated, and he has to flash to move himself.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Snipes down Viper.
Oh my God!
Answer that first kill.
So Doggo, he's got loads of tempo.
Absolutely. There.
Oh!
Shockwave gonna come
Oh!
through. Also pretty good at that. He is going to be able to take a turret shot and be okay, but this dive is not over yet.
There's
This
4 on
wave is
tower.
crashing down, and Peanut and Delight both under.
You guys better be fucking
And Cataclysm does put Doggo in the
toast.
cage,
You're
but
both toast. Holy shit! Holy shit!
as the Oriana collects it now, Zeka finds a triple knockback with the Empress Divine.
Oh.
Viper has made his way back to the fight. Kaiwing will be the first one down in this next team fight. Is on cue. No mana and not a lot of a chance to get himself out. But he is
Right,
going
bro.
to be able to flash.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Double for the Azir, and HLE salvaged the play.
And you can see that they're not actually going to pull the trigger, right? Doggo's he's just getting poked. And Doggo,
I know.
we are all in
You need something to warm you up.
But then the
Like a
extension
warm
right
burger.
further go for that dive towards the top side, ends up backfiring as reinforcements arrive for Hanwha.
I mean, Doggo is just a monster. Someone needs to check his PC immediately
Not normal.
because it was not normal at all. Of course, the consequences of all of this for CFO is while they were able to get a bunch of kills, big stacked wave on the top side, a couple of CS going to be alongside. They're going to be able to grab all of these scrubs in favor of HLE as well. Doggo is in the vicinity, and you've got to be mindful, Peanut. This man is not afraid of anything.
He certainly isn't. They do have a lot of mobility though, so Battle Dance should be able to get Delight
You
over
popped the whole
one.
thing.
Wants to leave the pit. And Driver is now the one that could be in trouble of walking up very, very far. He's Cassante, so he will be able to take a beating, but oh my goodness, Circle slows him down. There's the interruption. Great flag and drag from Peanut. And now the all-out does have to be employed. Can Driver do the funny business to get himself out? He uses the flash to try and escape, but he's ran out of options. Does eat that CC very nicely, and oh no! He just gets himself out!
Not even close, baby. I thought that when he used the W, because
we really need Showmaker.
That's
here,
crazy.
Oh,
They
this
made the
champion.
read
Oh my goodness.
that they had based, right? They were expecting a base to come through here. Let's go back to that dive.
Yeah, let's go back to the dive. So this is all
What?
after Doggo has already secured that kill.
Yeah.
It's a 4 versus 2. You can see that Peanut tries to punish Kaiwing as he gets aggro underneath the tower. The EQ doesn't really result in much.
I bet
it looks like a clean dive to start things off, but with the arrival of
technically.
Zeka, I love this awareness. An easy 3-man
But my money's on
setup for
CFO.
Viper to come in, who's just come off the back of respawning. Means that he's just spent his gold. He's got items. And he does enough.
They're
damage
technically
to
underdogs,
after CFO
but
already used all their
I think CFO has been looking really good.
You know there's no cooldowns. All the ultimates are down. I also did not really catch at that time. Driver was just proxying between 2 turrets, and Zeus was like trying to take a limit, obviously.
Also, I want that
Cassante,
LCK
so
to
that didn't
lose.
work, and then they tried to kill the Cassante afterwards. Also didn't work as the Drake.
Yeah, Drake gonna get
There's no
started
way.
up here as Zeka finds another 2! There is the tidal wave, that comes on through, but Honkyu's already dead. Cataclysm will be
Oh
avoided,
my
but no,
God.
he's out of the fight, he's out of the pit, and there is no hope for Junja this time. It is a steamroll from HLE.
Why'd you jinx me?
Zeka is 2 for 2 now with these shuffles. Actually, 3 for 3. Even the gank in mid lane was him setting
How was
it
that?
up on the Azir.
Fucking
5
amazing,
and
right?
0.
Absolutely ridiculous
Onion
performance from the
rings
guy
and
that was
barbecue
getting the most
sauce?
criticism.
Yeah.
First he doesn't build a tier on Rise, and now he's hit 2 fantastic shuffles here in this game, just trying to ramp himself up perhaps. As right now, might be eating my words, have done that already this game, so do need to be a little careful. But we
I loved
are
it. The first
being
time I had the
saved
rodeo
by
burger, I
replay
was just
of
like,
Drake.
the rodeo burger was first introduced.
When you're being collapsed on, just attack one of the flanks. He finds the bottom lane of CFO, quickly connects onto them. Doggo has to escape to safety as they're able to find that kill onto the Orianna.
So I don't know if you noticed, but that burger came out when the movie Small Soldiers came out.
When you don't have that flash, you're a very vulnerable
Small
champion,
Soldiers came out
to the amount of
as like the opposite of Toy Story.
To. And we talked about it earlier, right? Speed.
That was Toy Story, yeah. Small Soldiers was
I feel like that CFO are being punished in the setup of some of these objectives. As Honku now gets dangerously low, it's at risk of a die.
Yeah, this is scary. No flash available. Does get the two-man shockwave though. As the punishment is going to come on through, but Redemption will be able to keep Zeka relatively safe as Kaiwing moves himself over. Delight is not afraid. Otherwise, everything's going to be okay.
Actually, really nicely done there. Made sure to clear the wave so that there wasn't an angle for a dive. He knew reinforcements was on the way, so the next dive was at no threat.
Small Soldiers, I thought was a better movie.
You said earlier, Vetty,
and when that movie came out, they introduced the rodeo burger.
Whose ultimate will force you. Maybe even the flag and drag Asayas.
I think the rodeo burger is fine.
Equalizer goes down. It just puts a wall between himself and Driver.
Oh my god.
And the punishment to come in. I'll hold it until he's actually dead, and there he does finally go down. Some revenge here as True Shot Barrage not quite correct here to take down Zayas.
Peanut feels very omnipresent right now. It's probably because we just came out of a replay where he was bot lane and now he's top lane. The man is covering exactly where he needs to at just the right times. As Zeka.
Yeah, looking for Honku here as the quickness comes in, and Delight will just hold him in position. Emperor's Divide, perfect position, but he's not dead just yet. And
He's not.
making his way down.
What the fuck?
Chili, a little bit of a split decision, but
Nope,
Zeka decides he wants to get the kill as there is the turret going down in the top lane at the same
This is all
time.
got it.
And the shutdown will go to Junja. That's a small moment of respite for CFO, but they still got the 1-for-1. Zeka, I think, made the right call. He's not getting out, so he might as well make sure that he gets the kill onto Honku. But the bigger story is that while that's happening, because of the kill on Driver, top lane has fallen as Doggo.
Yeah, I'm taking so much damage here. That Trinity Force has been finished. The knock-up from downtown as Barrier is trying to keep Viper alive. Meanwhile, here on the bottom side of the map, Junja is in trouble as Zayas is down here as well. That's a great ulti.
That's LCK.
Gonna be able to keep himself safe.
That's like, that's Eastern.
Doesn't quite have the damage yet.
LCP, that's like
on the left of your screen. Zeka with a whole lot of extra money against the biggest powerhouse of this team.
The chicken guys.
It feels like the game is quickly slipping out of CFO's control.
I really want to see CFO win.
I mean, I just took a quick glimpse at the mini-map, and it's just red wards littered everywhere. Some of that deep vision that HLE had gotten on the bottom side is now wearing off, but they have such great information on CFO's movements, and they're
pound your
already
fist
ahead
into the
of the
wall.
play. Peanut has been there.
No, don't take. You're a monster. You are a monster. You are fucking Count Dracula over here looking at us. You want a vampire nuggie? Oh. No! You want a bat nuggie?
I love that Junja is just exquisite.
No! Don't steal!
He is diving in solo.
That was theft.
That
was high grade theft.
CFO showing their aggression as Doggo.
Shift forward as Peanut gonna get himself out of that.
Bad.
He says.
Bad
Zeka
Mongol.
is going to shift some sands to get himself to safety as well. Doggo, he's going to do it, isn't he?
Help wash down
Not this time. They had vision area. So
that's right. I actually tried to fake eating it, but it curled.
And that was a really nice steal from
Oh my god.
I think the CFO, if they're at an objective here, I actually think the comp feels so strong. You have a lot of zone control, you have a lot of poke, you have a lot of healing, but as you can see, when they need to regain control of an area, it's quite hard. Even though you get the steal here, look at the re-engage that comes with Bahama. Zayas might be in trouble.
Yeah, can't watch the replay in this one as Zayas is in so much trouble. Audacious charge comes through, he does flash, he gets himself out of the way. When becomes lightning, goes the wrong direction, but there's the shockwave, and down goes Zayas. Shut down money for the Orianna.
Not bad at all.
Gets some much needed gold as he has been the target from HLE throughout this game. The gold advantage still very much in HLE's favor, but CFO after finding a pick now set their sights on the third dragon of the game.
Yeah, so much vision, and you're exactly right. And Infernal Soul.
The hot grilled cheese burrito? Had that. I had their hot cheese burrito, hot grilled cheese burrito. Not that great. Volcano menu is the only menu I truly fucked with.
If they want to win this fight, Orb does come down. Honku still with no mana in this fight. Great double knock up in the back line, and there is the flag and drag at Doggo. He's put in the
Doggo win. Doggo win. Doggo wins.
Yes, Peanut goes down, but he has done enough.
Viper.
Viper may have stepped too far forward. He does get disengaged with that blast going, but they will be able to get themselves the dragon. Honku burning, but Zeus will not be able to find that kill.
Take the camera off of him.
That would have been way worse for CFO.
And that was Delight that set it all up. He went for a flash charm into two knock up onto the back line of CFO. That took Doggo low because don't forget they were a member down. But I want you to look. Honku doesn't have a lot of damage, doesn't have a lot of health and no ultimate. So it really just feels like a 4.5 versus 4. But the engages from Hanwha this game have been so on point. And Junja accidentally knocks Peanut over the pit onto Doggo.
I mean, it's a very close fight. It's just happening back and forth over the wall.
Junji fuck Peanut. Knocked him over the wall, straight into Doggo.
Who heavily committed, thinking he could get the cleanup play, but again,
fucking wrecked his ass.
Able to navigate through that fight, but HLE, the good news is they get the Drake.
Viper, you have one item. I know that normally
the accelerator. It's only 2,500 gold lead. Gold lead. That's fine.
It's fine. But
it's fine.
I don't blame it. This one. It has been Viper
Fine.
Life Esports for quite some time, okay? And today Zeka decided to step up, and so he's all a bit confused and discombobulated about where he is at the point
Doggo's 2-0.
in the game. So
It's fine. Kill Zeka. It's GG. Kill Zeka.
Not out of this one yet, and those extra couple of Drakes helping out a lot.
The beauty of this game is it really personifies CFO as a team, how they really play with the nameplates off. The fact that they have contested every single objective, and they've stolen most of them, and the fact that they still commit to these fights, even if these fights don't look optimal.
Driver needs to do something.
Backfires, but other times they find ways to either equalize or contest. It's important to realize that
Driver needs to do fucking something, bro. Like,
they do have the gold lead. A lot of it is sitting on the important carries of Zeka and Viper, but we see how Doggo plays, and it only takes a couple moments like that, a single moment from
he's
Doggo
literally playing solo
to
right now.
punish your positioning to swing the momentum back in CFO's favor.
And he's hit that 2-item spike as well. I mean, Doggo is extraordinarily powerful right now. You have a bit of an engage though, as Zeus in a bit of trouble once again. Equalizer goes down, he's doing a lot of damage. Junja almost just dead, but the all-out holds him in position, and Junja will survive.
just speak it and it comes into existence, right?
A little bit of an angle perhaps, as he does dodge out the way of that Q, looking for the Zinzao here.
Peanut can't kill him.
Wants to come on over as well. Driver not quite finding the angles onto Peanut here.
He can't.
Take the consolation.
Yeah, he's dead. He's toast.
That 1-for-1 as Viper comes down, and if he gets the kill, that's going to feel a whole lot better here for HLE, and he does.
Ends up being a 1-for-1 overall, and there's not much else at the rest of the map.
1v1, I say he's fine.
Those neutral objectives are unavailable.
3v1, I don't know.
CFO didn't really have the tools
Can't
to
run that
that
fast with
situation.
TV.
Ideally, they would have loved to convert it into another tower, but it is important to remember that HLE right now have 3 towers
Especially when you got
standing.
TV in
CFO
here.
really can't get close.
CFO is still holding on to the million turret though, and I think otherwise we might have seen Humble Life already way deeper into the enemy jungle. This time the rotation wasn't in time. If Otacon was on the opposite side, even though Junja didn't end up dying, was very low, was at that point just shy of his second item. That could have been a window where Humble Life pulled the trigger. Not going to be the case though, and this Otacon certainly to be where the next fight says, as I say that, they're starting it up.
Yeah, Viper is just hitting it. Peanut going to turn up as well. There is no vision available here for CFO. And Kaiwing, like you say, he's going home. Junja is going to be able to get a ward over the wall here. Or at least try and look for it. There it is. The control wall goes down. He gets the bad news.
Too late?
But this Otacon is not long for the world, and Delight will turn up. He will be able to play defense to avoid him getting in here. Down goes the Otacon, and now Driver slowed by the Slurkle. Zeus gets himself in there as the equalizer comes down. Perfect position once again. The tidal wave comes through. It's a phenomenal shockwave. Honku decides that they want to win the fight, and now it's Junja's turn to go deep. They look for the angle. Zeus goes down. Delight in a safe spot, and HLE, they're just trying to get the heck out of dodge.
They need more though. Zeka might go down.
Yep, tagged by the Mystic Shot. Emperor's Divide pushes Doggo away, and is he going to survive? He will! Mystic Shot doesn't get the snipe, and Delight will also be safe on the top side. Man, they're not allowed to get away with that.
The problem for CFO is that they've just ignored all their waves. They focused on chasing down the kills. They wanted to try and get more off the back of it, but top lane was getting pushed in, mid lane was getting pushed in, and now HLE can reset back out onto the map, which means that CFO, even though they find a good shockwave, they find a good fight, okay, at the very least, I don't know, they're not actually going to get a tower.
Oh, that's so unfair. Doggo does have to back away here. 3 versus 1 and not odds that he wants. 1 versus 2 he's very happy to do. this was a little bit of a bridge too far, as now Dragon going to be up in 18 seconds.
Hey, come on now, he'll go for it.
Yeah, I kind of regretted saying that as soon as I started.
That does mean, though, we're now 33 flowers to 10, and they will get this mid lane turret. Hanwha Life instead playing for Prio on the Dragon. Zeus, obviously, as decent wave player.
On that equalizer, if they do want to just eradicate the wave. You're exactly right. Drake has coming up here, is now HLE in a bit of trouble. Shockwave onto one, but Zeus is no longer here. The scrap shield's good, but Junja just says, nah, get out of town, and he is going to be able to pick up that kill. Equalizer went down beforehand, though, and Junja in a little bit of trouble. He's still going forward. Delight will be able to deny him, but I do love the idea at least. Another pick to come through. As Peanut gets taken down. There is Viper finding a decent amount of damage, but they cannot do anything without their job, and that should be sole point.
Oh my god, the Ezreal ultimate almost got Delight because his back came through at just the right time, but it didn't actually hit.
This is a design. I don't know what is even happening here, but it should be sole point picked up by CFO,
It's going
right?
to be. HLE are going to trade back this mid-tier 1. This is something they've been doing very well this game. The cross maps, the trading objectives, they go into HonQ.
Yeah, HonQ does manage to get the flash out, and now the bubble connects by Kaiwing, but the follow-up, it's just not there. Viper stands in front of his Azir. Now Driver looking for a bit of an angle, but Delight is going to be there for the defense. And man, CFO are just getting so close so many times, it's frustrating.
And that is why the lack of engage comes in, right? The best way for them to start a fight have been like these shockwaves, or in case of this, just Doggo hitting again and again as Junja follows up on the shockwave onto Zeus. Zeus tries to walk it off, but not able to. And then here I think Junja correctly identifies that he will just not be able to get out of here alive. So he tries to get the kill onto Delight, who barely survives, as Vedi highlights, even almost gets sniped. But it's this pick right there, the cancel from Driver on the flag and drag, that kills Peanut. And with no jungler, that is CFO going to Infernal Soul Point. And this game, it just continues to deliver as Driver might be in trouble. There are a lot of people on the way.
Exactly. You've got Viper moving down from the north, as you can see, with Peanut alongside. It could also mean an inner turret as well, as Driver does go unstoppable, but Viper does have his teeth in now. Driver gets himself out, but is this inner turret going to be the next target? Looks like the answer is no, as HonQ trading on the other side of the rift.
So this is really good news for CFO, because now HLE playing a little bit desperate. They sent a lot of members towards the bot side of the map, committing to that play. They couldn't really keep that top tower alive for much longer, but it's also giving Junja an opportunity to steal away some camps, as Peanut is doing the exact same thing on the bottom side of the map. Remember, the deficit that HonQ is at was absolutely massive early on into the game. It's still a 1k difference between the two mid laners, which means that he doesn't have that arm guard just yet. But CFO have a much more favorable position on the map. They've reduced the gold lead significantly. They've gotten the XP and the items that they need. And CFO, they're in prime position, especially with Soul on the horizon.
Exactly right.
And Hanwha Life are going to be looking to find either HonQ or Doggo. The one thing CFO need to be extremely careful about is this is a 2-carry composition. We're getting to the point of the game where the Xin Zhao alone isn't going to be able to get the damage output to really chew through all the members on Hanwha. So Zeka, Peanut, and Delight are all going to be looking to either take down HonQ, Doggo, or ideally both in one fell swoop. If they can eliminate those damage dealers early on in the fight, they might be looking at the next objective, but I think CFO has done such a good job consistently of not letting Hanwha Life just exit after they use their engage, after they use all their tools. As Peanut has just been looking for these flanks. Doggo's obviously a tough target. Powing also still has his flash available.
Yep, playing some defense here as Delight making his way forward. There's the quickness. Delight seeing who he can pick up here as the wall. Sorry, the wave is going to be avoided. Cataclysm puts them both in equalizer. Down on top to barbecue them, and there is the Emperor's Divide to lap up that bottom lane. Now Zeka in trouble though. Will he be able to break the arm guard? He will. He's on 1 health though. After everything's said and done, the ult from Junja so incredibly good, but Viper is still standing. It's so much damage, and the carries for CFO are down.
It was a beautiful engage from HLE, but it ended as a 3 for 3. The fact that CFO is able to turn that around is phenomenal.
And it's the absorption of Delight. Is eventually able to get on top, but I want the only real damage he receives is ultimate. The shockwave comes through from HonQ. Doggo's there, and if Zeka hadn't gone that TP off, they would have been in dire straits. Instead, it's Driver. Look how he holds this choke here.
And Zeka has to put himself in such a dangerous position in order to make that play happen. With the arrival of Viper, though, you'll think that it's just cleanup, but Junja and Driver just go God mode as they find an escape angle. The blast cone gets them to safety, and what should have been an uncontested Baron for HLE after finding
You would pick him? Beyond me.
the map just resets.
I do want to highlight
Beyond me, bro.
I think that is something that CFO can ignore.
That champion in world entirely across all teams picking him, he's like 2-9. That champion. Every time a team picks him, his ratio is 2-9 right now. And the teams that have won with him, those 2 games, both of those teams that won with him are currently eliminated. Why would you pick J4? Why? Look, 1-4-11. 1-4-11.
Could be a big deal, and there it is, picked up.
Don't pick J4. Pick someone else, please. Yes, 14-16. Yes, but Zika is carrying. He's 8-2 right now. Viper's carrying 4-1. 1-3, 1-4, 2-4. Bro.
So this is still a bit of an advantage for HLE. Still light splashing forward. He finds the quickness to lock down Honku. Another equalizer from Zayas, and the blast will not save the Orianna. Battle Dance gets him out of there. And Delight has been so good. Junja now in trouble. If they lose their jungler, they're in so much dire straits, as you said, Chronicler.
Look at the flash timer. It just now became available. Honku didn't have it. The timing.
But they're still only up 1,000 gold.
Away from what it could have been, and now this should secure the Dragon because they didn't kill Junja. I don't know if they can go.
They can't end.
Be careful that Nash isn't taken.
They can't end. I would doubt that they barely contest Drake. They're gonna go straight to Drake. I know they are. CFO's got 3 Drake on their 1. You have to go to Drake. You have to. You have to go to Drake. You have to let them take your jungle. You have to let them take everything.
Still hurts so much. Now with his 3rd item completed.
But this is really
Who?
could have been game losing because Junja survives. Like, it's fine. Honku now has his flash available. Humble Life got a dragon, but again,
Nah, blue team wins.
Second Drake, not the end of the world. Doesn't really matter that much. And it means that this game will remain in an even state. I do think we're seeing that if CFO leaves up or down there,
clean your shit up downstairs.
Humble Life will take something, right? And that's been where Humble Life has really excelled.
Go clean up your shit downstairs.
These plays, and I think we're going to see them just continuously put pressure.
So if I go down there right now, your desk is all clean up?
This objective.
Out.
Even though he's 2-8, has still done the most damage in the game.
2-6 and
sorry, 2-6 and 8.
Where's my Walter?
I put it in the wrong spot. That is my bad.
Where's my Walter? Go grab my Walter. Send the counter.
Get him level 15. He needs a little
Wallet?
bit more gold injected into him, but he's so wary of HLE forcing things that he wants
My
to be present
Walter.
for the fight, and that fight is about to happen right now.
That's exactly what they're doing. Look at Drew's position.
What do we got here?
It's just melting. It's absolutely obscene. Driver goes in there. They're going to see whether they can win the fight because they're not going to take the Baron. The rest of CFO move over, but Driver's going all out, and he needs to get out because that health bar is just missing. Empress Divide finds 2 in the back line, and Sayas is there with the flamethrower to take down Honku.
I don't know if you win this.
Junja will be able to keep himself
Oh,
alive
yeah, they
at
win
least,
this.
but Peanut takes down Doggo. There are those carries you were talking about, Mal. They're now taking a nap in the river,
Yeah,
and there goes the
CFO
rest of
loses.
CFO to follow.
I got $3. It says your desk isn't clean.
And that's just going to be it, most likely. All the damage dealers on Humble Life are ready to push down that mid lane. Baron buffs there, and CFO they
You
fought
can?
valiantly,
That's it?
but Humble Life got the Nash and take the
So-
game.
So if I go down there, I'm going to give you this?
Force the Baron, force the fight, win cleanly, and have the Nexus in their eyes.
Exactly. Nexus
Not have money
the next
clean?
ones to fall down, and we had questions for HLE.
Fuck!
Will Zeka be able to tidy up the play? Well, the answer to that is yes. Will Delight find some of his fantastic engages? Yes, and they needed to take down CFO here in this game number 1.
I can only hope this best of 3 goes the distance. Because this first game delivered everything we see. Some of the power of Humble.
That was fucked up.
The lights Rakan, Zeka having, I think, his first tournament. At the same time, CFO, they made them work so hard.
Bullshit!
They got so pointed.
That's bullshit!
Some of those chases would have netted them more kills. Could have been CFO taking the win.
Well, we'll see what our analysts have to say about
Barbecue,
it, because, man, that
barbecue,
was far better.
barbecue.
Absolutely spectacular. It's HLE that put themselves one game away from the quarterfinals, but I cannot stress this enough. After having to resist an unbelievable CFO, I love this team. I want to see them take a game in the series. This wasn't the one because HLE withstood it. What a fun game to watch. What a great game to watch, and it came down to centimeters.
The wire. To everything. It was incredible. Like,
It was great.
The casters, as they tossed there, like, there was a handful of shields that came into play that just barely kept HLE alive. That just made all the difference in this game.
I mean, these fights have just been so fun to watch. You know, we're starting out, at the top lane play, and Doggo's like chasing them down on this Ezreal with Nami E on him, and we're like getting so hyped. Oh my God, it's gonna be a Doggo moment. But then Zeka ends up getting a bunch of kills off the back of it, and then it's gonna be a fed Zeka moment. The fights in this game were just so close and so back and forth. And, the Oysters getting to 3 Drakes, making it really close. This series is going to deliver.
There's so much to talk about. It's also Junja, right, who maybe we won't talk about that much, but is also doing so much. But HLE do win it. And I think where you started in that top lane play, where it looks very promising for CFO, Rob, is unfortunately also where we see that Azir getting a couple of kills.
Yeah, it looked so good with Doggo with this insane snipe underneath the tower, but as you say, it was the turnaround and sticking around for that little bit too long that allows Viper to come back, and immediately they get those early kills, and that's where the snowball really started. But it's nice ganks like this in the early game that initially started Zeka in towards his moments where, again, it's Delight setting them up, having this Jarvan that can knock them down, and it's the fact that, again, here, this was the overextension, great ultimate from Zeka, and he does it over and over and over in this game to find HLE their wins.
Yeah, getting an Azir extra fed super early on, everyone knows this is going to be a huge problem. You get to your Nashor's Tooth super quickly, get to control side lanes, get to control the team fights, and we're going to see another one right here from him.
And every time, you can't really win then at this point, of course, for CFO, and you're trying to play this team fight, right? You have too much to focus on, and Azir is always threatening.
And there's just, they're coming in from so many angles. It's not like it's just like one straight 4 plays. Delight's fishing for one, you got the Jarvan fishing for another, and then it's just Zeka kicking in the front door to look for the play himself.
And that being said, Hongq, even though the Orianna was so far down, he hit that massive 4-person shockwave when they were chasing.
And the Nami
made you believe maybe that comeback was in the works.
I actually believe that I really did, and I think it is maybe because of the fact that I've seen that Viper game where he did so well and then HLE still couldn't close the deal. I think that does instill you with a little bit of doubt at times, especially when you are up against a team like CFO. They are so willing to play forward, to never say die. You don't have a moment's respite.
And that's the thing, right? Like, there's moments of doubt, but it is this tenacity and resilience from CFO. We saw it in the AL games where they're pantheon ulting in and they're like, you're not getting away with this one. We're going to pick up kills. We're going to continue this pressure. And then we're seeing it again here with Hongq in these insane plays. Doggo chasing Viper to Kingdom Come to get these kills. It is exactly what you want to see from this team that wants to be the upstart.
It's what we need to parlay into game 2 as well, as we see kind of the death blows of this game, although in the
we'll put some goldfish
in
the barbecue sauce packet.
Can go better, but HLE in the end close it out.
Yeah, and I really like the engages later on from Delight
as
well as Peanut. You know, he finds multiple in this side of the jungle. The first fight here ends up very, very close. But then they're able to get a little bit more space next time around and really bring it through. Then Zeka here comes in again. Zeus follows up, and this was the real clincher. This was the nail in the coffin, the Baron, and the fight afterwards.
Yeah, they also really, HLE obviously knew what they were doing, because earlier Zeus ults and he locks them in place so that they can't go back because he knows that Zeka's coming in. And I think at that point, they see the play, right? And they know that their carries are fed.
And one of the critical parts is look at how close the gold, they actually kept the gold. CFO there, fighting back until a really big moment towards the Baron there. But the key is for CFO, this team, they really have no fear of any other players at international tournaments. So you can see it in their play. They have so much confidence.
What a great segue. I wanted to bring up a quote from Doggo of Achieve Esports with Arma, where he said, everyone has someone they idolize. I don't, because I don't want to end up getting intimidated by them when I end up facing them on the Rift. And I feel like he embodies that so much, Rob. Is he still kind of your win condition if we go into this game 2, if we go into this game 3?
I think so. I mean, the fact that you see him playing with his confidence on the Ezreal going forward is exactly what you want from this team. And I think as well, like, they are embodying their name. Like, Fei Mu Li is the translation of flying oysters, which is a play on the words for family. They are playing like a family. They are playing like a team that doesn't give a crap who you are. They can rely on each other. They can rely on themselves, and they will be able to get across the finish line. And HLE, I think, are going to be surprised at how much they got beaten in that game.
That's a great point, but in the end, it's still HLE that are only 1 game away from qualifying to the quarterfinals, and they probably say, we would do it once, we can do it again. We need to give them that credit, but we'll see how it ends up in game 2. If anything, I hope it is as
1 game away from finals. Eat my dick.
Melting, it's absolutely obscene. Driver goes in there. They're going to see whether they can win the fight because they're not going to take the Baron. The rest of CFO move over, but Driver's going all out, and he needs to get out because that health bar is just missing. Empress Divide finds 2 in the backline, and Sace is there with the flamethrower to take down Honkyu again. Junja will be able to keep himself alive at least, but Peanut takes down Doggo. There are those carries you were talking about, Mal. They're now taking a nap in the river, and there goes the rest of CFO to follow. HLE.
Fuck you. And fuck you.
PSG CFO 加油，超越。
Wait, what? Hold up.
Let's go, Super. Let's go, BB. 팬티 없어. 백빈.
An update
Oh.
is required. Financial
Um.
system updating.
Never mind. I thought it was something else.
System updated. We will dance together. The future of money is feels good.
Red Bull gives you kinks. Wait for that to start. Do a game of this. Fuck you. Bro, stop. Bro, stop. Aura. Come on. Is that green or red? Red. No! You're not going outside. Shut up. It's wet and gross. There's the leaching crystal. Not a good build.
this stuff work? You know, you gotta plug the mouse in. Maybe you don't have to plug the mouse in because he's using a wireless mouse.
Well,
you have to work out whether he's using a wireless
It gives
mouse.
the players a chance to rest, one could say.
Oh my goodness.
Up top.
David,
Also, no,
David
but-
Turley's here in the building, is he not?
They actually high-fived, by the way.
They probably came
I
to
like Atlas. He's got my vibe.
We like interrupted you with a high five.
Well, no, I just want to highlight. You do still need to plug in like the original connector for the wireless mouse. Like,
Oh,
you
that's
still
true.
Plug it in.
I shouldn't have been caught up by the wireless.
No, I just wanted to get back to that.
We're
That's
one
unacceptable.
step away, though, and I feel like you've landed on a fantastic business idea.
Wait, which? Oh, yeah,
Because I mean, surely
wireless.
Bluetooth has to exist.
No,
soon.
no,
the
this is-
Bluetooth mouse and keyboard.
What if you made a?
That's
HLE wins?
Why don't you
Kill
just make
yourself,
the ultimate,
bitch.
like, Bluetooth mouse
Bitch.
that actually-
Kill yourself,
no,
bitch.
No, it overwrites every other wireless thing.
HLE win.
So you
Fuck
just turn
you.
it on and you control every mouse in like a
No one should be supporting
You know,
it.
in school, where you would unplug
No one
someone's
should be
keyboard and
supporting
plug
them.
yours in instead.
Yeah,
This is the ultimate version of it.
Oh, it's so good. We're about a minute away, so don't worry. We're just gonna keep talking.
We're talking about it
This is
because we're
the
thinking
ultimate
about
wireless
gifts
mouse.
for you.
Oh no 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 no.
Dearly beloved, we have.
No, we're not. No, we're talking about gear.
But don't worry,
We're talking
guys.
about
We
the
do
series.
because Chronicler is going to be leaving us pretty soon. We will have another speech for you.
No.
It is coming.
No.
And he agreed to it. As you can hear him here,
No, we're at
he's
Worlds.
I've been
definitely
taking
agreed
cliff
to it.
notes.
No,
actually.
we're
My
locked
notes
in.
are right
No, we're
here.
locked in
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the games. We're gonna talk about the game. We're gonna talk about the draft so soon. I swear.
And if he
And I
doesn't
am-
do it, I'll do the speech on his behalf, pretending to be
That's
him.
even worse.
We will do it.
No,
Yes,
I don't trust
together.
either of you.
One word each, like one of those improv
Please,
games.
please, champ select. Please, come on. Free me from my sorrows.
Have you actually counted how many goodbye speeches you've done?
No, and I don't want to know. Just
It's a very big number. It is
No,
a
it's
big
too
number.
many.
Double digits?
Cannot wait for it to be another number higher. You know, that's what I'm really looking forward to.
excellent,
As Peanut, you can
excellent.
see on his face, he's really looking forward to video games starting. He's pretty keen for that one, I could
Phenomenal. Wow, the atmosphere is electric on the Cassidy
Oh, it
in
absolutely is.
anticipation of this draft. I am optimistic that the draft will be spawning momentarily.
And look, you might have a little bit of inside knowledge here.
I might.
As far as whether or not it is. I'm going to keep everybody else in suspense. I have absolutely no idea whether Champion Select has started or not. But you can see Zeus is having some communicating, and that is not a sentence, but that's fine. Here we are, into Champion Select for game number.
English is my second language.
Imminently.
You don't have
It's
an
my
excuse.
second language too. I speak Australian.
Yeah,
What
Australian
the heck?
is his first language. Come on, man.
Wow.
Respect.
CFO!
How long?
5 years max.
Yeah.
Still
They
don't
banned
know.
Scion again. They know the trick.
They're aware.
Yeah. Still gonna first pick it, as it turns out. As we have the Poppy and the Ambassador taken away, and on the other side, same bands to come on through once again. But now, because it's Fearless, we're not gonna have the Orianna or Azir to worry about. The Rise value gonna be going up.
Honestly, I think Caitlyn value for Doggo is going to go up. I really do think that it's a champion that you can just have so much agency on the bot side of the map. And I feel like with the amount of dive that we're seeing from junglers, especially the Wukong's open. So I think that they're going to change their priority and instead lock that one in on the side of CFO unless HLE look to remove it.
And they're like also anticipating the Rise ban that could theoretically come through. If the Wukong is banned, they can't first pick it. They can pick the Rise without having to worry about Aurora. I kind of love this from the side of CFO.
So will it be the Rise first pick? Would you guys consider Zeka a prominent Cassio player?
No.
But Talia player?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he
Well-
can do that one. Although it's not my favorite. He this year I feel was where he really figured out Talia, but it wasn't one of the ones in his wheelhouse.
You could also say it is a Victor angle, and I would disagree with them.
Oh God, no,
But we have seen him do it many a time. As the Rise is going to come through, something that we also highlighted during the last game, and I hope CFO pivot away from, is that I think with how crisp Hanwha Life looked in the team fights and the target selection, now that draft was also a little silly when it comes to dive, but maybe pivoting towards a free carry composition is a better angle. And that has nothing to do with the play that we saw beforehand, but having Rest also on an actual carry, I think could create a lot of opportunities for them, where even if Honkyu is focused, even if Doggo is focused, they do have a third threat. Because a lot of the fights in the last game did come down, and they're not going to be any better, because we're already seeing Vitalia, when it comes to a single carry, immediately taken out of the fight. So I would love to see CFO try to find something with a lead, at least a decent amount of threat towards the top side of the map.
Well, a blind Trundle is not blind actually, because Vi is already locked in. So the Trundle for Junjie is going to be considered here at least, as far as that answer is concerned. We'll see whether it is going to be more damage. I think it's the top lane that our eyes are really going to be glued, but I don't know whether it's going to be a blind top lane choice here, unless they really want to keep this bottom lane a secret. I wouldn't even mind something like an Alistar, just because it's so good into Trundle.
Trundle?
Then you wouldn't have to worry about banning it, things like that. Keep your top side a little bit more open.
I feel like the Viper is eyeing up a Kai'Sa right now.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm wondering if Doggo just wants to get his AD carry now to potentially dissuade it. I don't love the idea of a... Are they really going to blind Renekton? They're going to blind Renekton.
They blinded Renekton.
So I am happy about the fact that Renekton is...
Nar?
That's what I mean.
I wasn't done. I'm not happy with where it's picked, because Zayas is the guy that will counterpick you in a way that will make your laning phase very, very miserable. And I think Zayas has had his fair share of ups and downs, but I think so far at Worlds he has been able to perform. And this was one of his true trademark champions. We'll see if it actually gets knocked in.
Oh no! Wow! That I was like, whoa, this is his debut champion. He's so good at Gnar. This is incredible. And then it was, this is the champion who's allowed to play at this tournament.
Yeah, I do think Zayas is like the only one where I remember him having Rek'Sai games also way back where it looked pretty solid, but I'm kind of with you on this one, Atlas. I feel like the blind Renekton not feeling too bad.
I mean, I guess they just wanted a more reliable dive buddy alongside the Vi, so that when Vi inevitably ults onto Honku or Doggo, at least there's someone there right next to the Vi. In any case, we'll see how things transpire as we move into the second phase. Already the Nico going to be removed from the bot lane pool.
I imagine the support pool might really get thinned. We might see some fun stuff.
I feel Kai'Sa has to be high on the list for CFO. Like, Viper is known for many an AD carry, but I feel like Kai'Sa is kind of up
He
there.
did go to the LPL to get his Kai'Sa license. We've got Ruler as well, who did manage to get that one. The rest of the players that we have in the LCK, they do not have them. They do not have that license, unfortunately. The Corki going to be the first one taken away though, and it's kind of similar vibe, does a lot of damage, especially on 2 items.
I really like the Corki ban here. Corki to me is one of those AD carries that just doesn't really have weaknesses. Like his laning phase is good. If you can pilot him well, we've seen Ruler for me is always the standout, at least in the LCK. He skills well. Your 2-item power spike is disgusting. And he is really hard to lock down, and so far we're not seeing too much of that, as there is the... And that's a crazy amount of respect, because you do have the amount of dive that will make Draven's life very hard. So Doggo, I think, given the respect that he does deserve...
The reason why I respect it is only because we've seen a Morgana at this tournament already, and I could just imagine CFO locking in a Draven Morgana lane and being like, yeah, have fun, Peanut, good luck getting through that.
Yeah, try and do damage to this guy. Oh, we do have one more ban remaining. Will it be that Kai'Sa taken away? And it will.
It is.
And so I think that like now you've sort of opened the floor for like an R4 Caitlyn pick to feel a little bit better. And that is what is hovered, at least for now, and locked away. Doggo, what is the answer here to this? Oh my god, that would be so all in.
There's no way.
Oh, Doggo, please. Surely. No, he's not going to.
No. He's
sometimes hovers are fun.
He's teasing you.
He knows what the people want.
It's something like an Ashe. Maybe it's a...
I like Ashe a lot, actually.
Jinx could be a possibility.
Jinx also have good setup, right, to get kills early on.
The only problem is, like, how do you live? Okay. Ziggs definitely helps you live, that's for sure. I mean, their damage profile is also completely fine because they've got that Bruiser with a Renekton in the top lane. And I mean, I will never doubt Doggo on any champion that he plays. All I know is that he doesn't press... You know how WASD, W is for forward, S is for back?
Yeah.
I think they removed his S key. I think that he only has the W.
He's one of those players who just remaps D to like another go forward.
Yeah, exactly.
A big thing that we always talk about is satcheling aggressively, right? Like how do you use your satchel? And then what we mean by that is using your satchel for poke. I'd like to think that Doggo actually satchels himself into other people so he can do more damage.
Also, D is turn right. It was S that I was talking about and realized at the end of the sentence, so that was a little bit unfortunate. The Leona, this is one of the classic Ziggs bottom lanes. And is Delight going to do a classic Caitlyn lane? Like, just lock Lux. It'd just be fun.
Ooh.
Instead, it's going to be a cow. And when you see a Trundle, a cow is pretty good.
Yeah.
Cow beats
don't
troll.
Get to subjugate it. Yeah, cow beats troll. It's like rock, paper, scissors. I don't know what the other thing is. Maybe bridge. You haven't played that one? Troll Cow Bridge?
I mean, I've heard of it.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
Alistair locked
fine.
in here.
You've got time to figure that one out. Okay, these are your compositions. I do feel like HLE would look better with a Nah, but that might be personal preference.
I think so.
And we'll see whether Zeus is going to be able to join Flandre as one of the players that's able to make the Rek'Sai look pretty damn good.
I do love the early setup here for CFO. I think that you have an incredible amount of early game power, right? You have Leona, you have Ryze, you have the Trundle, which you can really use to get off to a good start. I think we did see them really struggle with keeping up once it came to mid to late game with the rotations that Hanwha had around the map. So we'll see if they're able to find a better answer to that this time around.
I'm just worried about this Renekton. I think it's going to be so difficult to execute against Caitlyn Talia. Like, he's going to have to find some crazy flanks. You do have Leona, which I think can be a very good engaged champion. But again, like, there's just not a huge amount of CC on the side of CFO, so I feel like they're going to run into very similar ranged problems that they ran into in game one. But hey, we know that CFO is aggressive, so let's see what they can do in the early game.
Exactly right. Both of these teams wanting to get off to some early sieges as well, so movements around the map and allocating lanes is going to be something that we're going to be glued to. But now, it is time to pseudo hop onto the Rift as a sepia mode is what we are greeted with, making sure maybe it's, rest, maybe he did accidentally pick up the God mode mouse, so everyone was doing the same mouse movements.
So
and it would have been very
I'm gonna
awkward.
regret this, but the cow bridge, is it like because the troll's under the bridge, so he loses the bridge, or like what is the,
I think the cow loses to the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, because the bridge is with the, Troll's good at bridge.
No, look, listen. You see, so
Much better at card games. I think.
Trolls can play the game bridge, right?
Yeah.
Cows lack
have
the
hooves,
intellectual,
so they can't make
their
it work.
inability.
Is it about hooves or interlocks?
However, trolls are incapable of harming cows, probably because
They have an unbreakable will.
Yeah.
And their subjugate doesn't work very well against it.
Exactly
I like that you actual little gameplay narrative time. That's good stuff.
What do you mean? Look, that's
how the game
always
works.
work.
This is what we designed. Vedius and I designed this game.
It's actually
really.
it's been
Why
sold
did you guys
it's
do
been sold
this?
in multiple countries
Yeah,
around the world.
It just didn't really go that hard in the Netherlands.
If anything, I'm just kind of hurt that you haven't.
There's a
heard
board
about
game I don't know about.
Board game?
Or
And
card
it's not
game.
it's not even a card game. It's you have a hand
Just play
game.
it. We can play it right now.
Yeah. We're not going to though.
We're not
We've got
going
a
to.
job
There's a
do.
more important
Yeah.
game to play.
We're going to focus on that one right now. First damage going over to CFO as the bouncing bomb does connect onto the cow. Ziggs would be another thing that we could include into the game, but it'd make it too complicated. That one's pretty good.
He's in a separate game.
Yeah. Ooh, doing some thumbs up. Zeus has been very good at the top laner game. And
It took forever.
having a bit of a go as well. But right now, HLE asserting some dominance as the Gyos coming through.
Looking at the early
Indians
setup
are
here,
spooning.
we could say it's with what I assume will just be the same kind of bruiser build here for the Rek'Sai. So the Frost to try and stack as much health as possible. Also, Doggo does have TP, which obviously will help over rotations around the map, but I do think that level 1 for the Ziggs in some lanes, you can actually see him be pretty oppressive. Caitlyn lanes, I don't think is going to be one of them. Even though the Alistair obviously is really weak level 1, I think just the amount of damage that that Viper can do, plus the fact that they have early access to the wave here, should mean that it might be a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, Peanut, 149 international games. And this might be one of the last ones, right? And it will be. A few extra best of fives perhaps in his future if they can get a victory here, though, as Peanut does get a ward down on this red buff, sees that it's not there, and now moves all the way over towards the chickens.
But he
now
doesn't win
Junja
that.
is going to see him.
He doesn't win that.
Yeah, and so instead he's just going to
Waste-
annoy the chickens.
I mean, that's they must have had to read that it was at the top side of the map, that he started there. Because otherwise, I don't know why he would go for reps. I thought at first he was going to go over the pit and then go for a play towards bot side.
It really felt like that his plan was to try and split the map because, I mean, it's something that you do all the time with Caitlyn lanes, right? To try and provide her with that safety. Junja, though, looking for a gank in mids.
Yeah, gets a really nice pillar, and the flash has to be employed here by Zeka. Lots of respect, but he gets to now move into this top side. And now, is it just going to be a 3-quadrant start? But Junja, this is real rough for Peanut.
And for Zeka, you know he's there. Like, we just witnessed him. You know his bot side jungle is fully cleared. He just can appear in that brush, really to play a little bit more towards the other half of the map. There might be an angle for you there. And now Junja, again, this is PTA Trundle. Like, Vi does not get to stand a chance here. Peanut will know.
Well. Oh dear, Peanut will know that this is going down. Gets a ward in there. Vault Breaker comes through. Let's see who wins the smite fight, because we know Junja is probably just going to win the fight. Zeker is going to move up though, trying to make that man advantage. Smite does come on through, as Peanut does get his red buff. Flash has to be employed as Zeker in there in the nick of time to save his jungler.